you guys? We are back with another video. Check us out. We're doing anime theme. One Punch Man. What you got on?
Demon Slayer.
Okay, so we're anime lovers. We're just getting into it, but we like it.
Yeah.
All right, so Nadia, what are we doing today?
So today, first things first, we have a new segment. I don't know what we're going to call it, but we're going to be trying out yellow watermelon today.
I've never had it, so
I never had it. It looks a little juicy. So.
I am wondering if it's GMO. Hopefully it's not, but that's neither here nor there. I'm trying it for y'all, so. Are we trying it right now?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, okay.
Let's get on into it.
Good. I feel like we didn't talk. Like, how was your week?
Well,
try. Hold on. Go ahead and take a bite. You look like you want to take a bite, so go ahead and take a bite. Does it taste the same? It's
a different flavor.
It tastes not as sweet to me, but maybe these aren't that ripe. I don't know. Are we eating this throughout? I guess we can eat it while we're watching the thing, but we want y'all to see our t-shirts.
Rockin' anime.
We're gonna start doing anime themes. We only have t-shirts right now, but we kind of want to do like a costume.
Yeah.
So our next one, we're gonna do costumes, and y'all can let us know what you think. If you have suggestions, let us know. But today we are going to be reacting to a segment of the latest Pop the Balloon video. Those of you who are familiar with Arlette's video, she does Pop the Balloon. It's on what? Episode 9?
Yeah, 9.
And there was a returning guest who is not a fan favorite. He's definitely considered the antagonist, Dr. Elom. So we're going to react and you're going to get our honest, thoughts about him and what he says. And we want to hear y'all's honest thoughts about him and what he says. So we're going to jump into it. And we're going to be eating this while we're doing that. Or I am, at least.
Welcome in.
He's back.
Ooh. All right. If we can have your name.
That was so fast. I was not expecting that.
What's your name, sir?
Hi, my name is Dr. Elom.
And Dr.
Y'all know
Elom,
who I am?
How old are you?
That's not fair.
Dr. Elom, how old are you?
I'm 39.
Okay, all right. Now, we do see you pointed out Dr. Elom. What kind of doctor are you? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm a dentist, so actually, please forgive me for my attire. I had an emergency earlier, and I had to rush here, so I didn't have time to change. She's not even looking at my face. Okay, so I am a traveling dentist. I travel up and down the West Coast, pulling teeth and placing implants for those who need it.
Okay, all right. Now, what do you look for in a woman?
What I look for in a woman is pretty universal, and I'm not sure if it's been explained this way, but I'm going to try. There's 3 things that every man wants, and if you do these 3 things, you can procure any man that you want. And this isn't my information that I just came up with. This is actually research-based, and the first thing is being useful. How can you be useful to the person in your life? Why is that important? Because when you are a useful asset to the man that you want to be, then there is no way that he's ever going to want to get rid of you. The second thing is you have to blow his mind in the bedroom. What does that mean? That means you take the wildest, nastiest thing that you've ever done, figure out the wildest, nastiest thing that he's ever done, and exceed that. Otherwise, he can just get it from somewhere else. Now, the third thing, and this thing is the most important thing. It doesn't matter if you do the first 2 things. If you don't do this last thing, then you won't be able to keep your man, and that is respect. Always respect your man. Now, if you have any confusion as to what respect is.
So you're asked about what are things that you're looking for. Why is it immediately like sex? Like,
I don't know that I'd say it was immediately sex.
not immediately sex, but I'm saying like make the wild, like.
But you ignored the other 2 things.
The other two things
2/3
were
of it was
respect and being useful. I do agree with that. But
Do you not agree with the sex?
on the first date, or you're looking for that in a woman to exceed your wildest sexual escapade?
I think the thing about him, I agree with these three things that he's saying in order to keep a husband, I'll say, because, I'm saving myself for marriage. So I can't talk about sex outside of the confines of a marriage. But I think the thing about him is he came on already counseling. I don't know, just say, I want a woman who is useful to me, will blow my mind sexually, and respects me. But instead, he took it as an opportunity to coach people. And it's kind of, I think when you walk into a room doing that, it's kind of the assumption that these women are not already. Why do you feel the need to say it in such a way as if the women don't already know that? So, and as he's saying these things, the women are popping their balloons. Some of them, 4 of them popped immediately. And then 2 more, how many are out there? I don't know, but 2 more popped while he's talking. So,
yeah.
while I do agree that the advice is good, I even think that the sexual advice is good, I don't think it was the time for that.
I think the sexual advice is good. Yeah, the timing. If I'm just now meeting you, I don't want to know that, in order to keep me, our sex has to be, excuse me, I'm just now meeting you, whoa.
The only reason why I would say it doesn't necessarily need to be said is because I think it's something that's understood. At least in today's culture, most people are looking for the sexual part and they forget about the useful and the respect.
Yeah.
So he probably
That's
could have skipped out on that because I think our generations know that, and that's not our struggle. It's the other two that we kind of are not really doing these days.
So we did get a couple of pop balloons here. Let's go over to some of these ladies and see what's going on.
Please, let's.
All right, let's start here. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
My name is Brenda. I'm 36.
Okay.
The reason why I popped, very good looking man. Well put together. You're in the dentistry world. That's amazing. I'm sure your love language is acts of service, since you are in the dentistry world. But the way you answered that question.
Actually, my love language is physical touch. Oh. And quality time. Oh. And words of affirmation.
I see that you like to interrupt.
I
apologize.
I apologize.
It's best that I did pop that balloon. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Now, is Brenda someone that's your type?
I actually don't know enough about her to make a valid decision on that, but I love the dress. You have a gorgeous smile. I love what you've done with your makeup and your hair. You're, awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's go over here. If we can have your name and age.
I'm Jador. I'm 31.
All right. And Jador, why did you end up popping your balloon?
Dr. Elom, it's such a tragedy because you are so handsome. I feel like you are extremely arrogant, and I feel like you're probably going to have a hard time because you seem like the type, like a know-it-all type of guy. And sometimes you have to be careful with that because even when you know it all, you don't know everything. So being humble sometimes can be your best friend, even if you do know it all, even if you're very smart, very wise, but just having a humble attitude, you know what I mean? You would probably go a lot further. And I say that with all the respect in the world.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who's your dentist?
Who is my dentist? Not you, sweetheart. And I'm just going to leave it right there.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I'm not your dentist.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's
go to our next.
So she says one thing. Okay.
I'm going to say this. I don't know that how she said what she said was necessarily respectful. I think it's funny when people will say something and then after it say respectfully. Sometimes I feel like if you feel the need to say respectfully, it's probably because what you said wasn't respectful. Either your intention wasn't respectful or what you said actually wasn't respectful. And you're trying to make it sound as if it is such.
I think she put it in a nicer way than she
I think her tone came off a little too strong. To not know someone and
judge them based on his
and she did see a previous episode, and they talk about that later. Like, a lot of them did see him in a previous episode, so I understand where her judgment is coming from, but still, at the end of the day, you don't know him, and you're talking to him as if you do know him well enough to say those things. But in her defense, he does the same thing. Like, he comes in coaching, and she did the same thing, so they could be a perfect match.
But to go and insult her like that, though, like, who is your dentist? Like,
yeah, it was a low blow, but you know.
Our next person here, your name and age and why you ended up popping.
So my name is Brittany. I'm 31, and like she said, you look really good. I like that you're in the you're a dentist, but you are given arrogant, and it's given toxic too. Like it's given to you want to debate all the time. Like it's like you're gonna give me a headache. And if you if you do know it all, just a little bit better to be humble. So that's it. But you look good, you're handsome, but it's given toxic, and I don't want that. And it's also given like this is a joke to you. Like you just want to come on here just to say stuff to get a viral moment. I'm not feeling that.
She said it about 5 to 6 times.
It's giving toxic, it's giving arrogant, it's giving.
I think it's so funny. I think we need to learn how to communicate without that word. Like, we were communicating without it before.
I think it's a filler
Then
word.
It became
Or a
popular.
phrase.
I don't know who popularized it. But somehow it became popular. Now everybody says, including us. Like, I'm not saying I don't say it.
I say it normally.
I hope I don't say it normally. I probably do. Like, some of my friends joke that we say it a lot.
If you are looking for a nuclear relationship, I probably am a red flag for you. So you're probably right on that.
I love your honesty.
Because when he says nuclear relationship, I think of the nuclear family, which is like a mother and father and children, like a stable family unit. So when he says nuclear relationship, I feel that he's saying
Maybe in a traditional aspect, like if you're looking.
Yeah, it says a relationship denoted by a heterosexual, monogamous, and legally married couple, male and female, with children living apart from relatives. So like a standard husband, wife, and children.
So if you're looking for that, he won't be the person for you?
So he insulted himself? Are we misunderstanding? I don't know. Y'all comment, because I'm lost. I don't think what he said is what he meant.
We can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
Hi, I'm Nova. I'm 30. Yeah, it was just the arrogance for me. I love a man that's very confident. Like I'm gonna toot your horn every chance I get. But I think you toot your own horn, so I don't think I would be able to accommodate that every day. Like you're tooting, and then I'm trying to uplift, and it would just be a roller coaster ride, like all the time. Like I feel like we would constantly be up here, and I like my space. I like quiet. I feel like every day would be something not negative, but just the energy would just be very high for me.
It sounds like self-love is something that's challenging for you.
Self-love? Oh no, baby, I'm sorry.
Because if you loved yourself, then you wouldn't have any problem loving me.
Oh, I love myself a lot, and I want to be able to love someone as much as I love myself. But I feel like you love yourself so much that there wouldn't be any room for me to love you.
That sounded good, but it also didn't make very much sense.
That's
because
fine.
love isn't a container. Love is
It's not a
something that you
container.
are. So I
Yeah.
love myself. I've worked on myself, and
Uh-huh.
I understand the tools that it takes to practice self-love.
Okay.
And so space and time isn't really an objective field that you need to use as a barometer to see if it's possible, if we can love each other. It's either you love yourself and you can share that, or you're uncomfortable with it. And so I feel that you're also uncomfortable with me loving myself as much as I do.
No.
And it's
I'm
coming off
definitely
as
not uncomfortable.
arrogance.
One thing that I have to point out, every woman except for her name was Brenda, the first one. Every woman he's either insulted, like he's insulted in some way. How did you get she doesn't love herself from her saying that she doesn't want someone that's like high all the time? Like, why does it have to be like you insulting someone instead of just taking like Brenda? She said she didn't really she really wasn't feeling you. You passed. Why is it that now like you have to insult everybody else?
I don't understand what she was. I don't understand what she was trying to say. It didn't quite make sense. So I kind of agree with him with what he was saying. It sounded good, but if you think about it critically, maybe I'm dumb. I don't know. When you think about it critically, it's not making sense. Is she trying to say he's too conceited and because of that there's no space for her in the relationship? If that's what she's trying to say, I understand that, but that's not necessarily what she said, because she was saying because you love yourself so much, I can't love you. I can still love you even if you're a conceited person.
Yeah. I don't know what she was trying to give.
Maybe she's saying there is not enough love that I can give you where you will ever feel satisfied with that.
Maybe she should have said that, because I wasn't understanding.
Because you're always going to desire more. Maybe that's what she was trying to say.
But they're coming up with these elaborate like answers, and it's like,
just talk in layman terms and make it simple. Yeah. Like, I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Oh, I'm arrogant?
No, I said it's coming off as arrogance.
Oh, you're coming off. Yeah, you do.
So my confidence is triggering you because it's reminding you.
I love confidence. I melt in it.
It's not about you not having self-love. It's about you not appreciating the self-love in other people. And that is a direct reflection of how you see yourself. The term is called projection. When you see me shining, it reminds you that you're not shining enough.
Oh, so when I said that I melt in confidence, that kind of went over your head?
Melting in confidence isn't...
Self-love, confidence, all that in my man is very important to me, because I don't want to date a man that does not love himself, because then he won't love me as much. The level of love will be different.
Look, I'm really trying to follow you.
I know,
right?
I know, but it's okay.
But your ego won't allow you to take responsibility for your lack, and that's okay.
But I don't lack anything, babe.
I done popped y'all's balloon before you even got to know Dr. Elom. What a shame. What a shame.
Is it though? I don't. Yeah. You'll find your
You said you watched the show before you got here, which means you have a preconceived indoctrination of who you think I am. So you popped your balloon before you even got to know me based on what you've already seen, please.
Why do you want to argue with me?
I'm not arguing with you. I'm using an inflection that is emphasizing my point. You thinking that I'm arguing is a direct trigger that you can't handle what I'm saying to you.
Okay, love bug. I've been here, done that. Yeah,
okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's see what's next.
All right, if we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
My name is Tatiana. Okay, respectfully, where do I begin, my guy? You got a lot of dip on your chip, and I feel like the way that you coming at everybody else with like, oh, who's your dentist and everything, you finna ask me who my dentist is. And I'm not with that just yet. I'm not ready for that.
I know it's triggering.
Let me finish real quick, respectfully. I'm sorry, because you interrupt everybody else. Let me speak real quick. I just personally feel like you're not used to and I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm alpha male, like, whatever. Like, you're not used to a dominant woman. I feel like you are like, it's easy kind of coming to you to belittle women a little bit. I understand where you coming from with everything that you do, and I saw the last episode, but like you do come off as arrogant. Confidence is cool, but like, know the difference a little bit. What you gonna say about my tooth, bro?
Why would I want a dominant woman when I'm the dominant one?
Go ahead. There can't be,
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Do you think you're the prize?
I know I'm the prize.
You're the prize to the men you don't want.
Okay.
When you get a man that you actually want, please believe me, we're the prize.
Okay. Next.
Okay. Your name and age and
who do you think is the prize?
I think both. Like, I would say that I'm the prize, and I would say that he's the prize.
Yeah. I agree. I think with people who are in a relationship, you can believe that you're the prize as well, but if you're choosing to be with someone, that means that you see value in them.
Yeah.
Which means that they're the prize to you. And that person that's choosing to be with you, you're the prize to them. So we both are the prize. And that's okay. We both bring different values to the relationship, and we appreciate each other for that.
I think one thing that he said that I do like and I do understand, and I agree with, what man does want a dominant woman. Now, there are some men out there, if you want a dominant woman, kudos to you. But I think a lot of the times, like, especially like in this era, like, a lot of women are becoming more dominant, and it's hard for us to be feminine, so to speak. But she does really give off masculine dominance, and no dominant man would want to have a dominant woman, I would say, because it's two like alpha males in the relationship. Mm-hmm. So it's like a power struggle, and it shouldn't be.
I think too, this is the fourth person that's told him that he comes across as arrogant, and this is kind of what we touched on in the Amanda Seales episode. Accountability, and that perception is reality, even if it's not your intention to be a certain way. If people are constantly perceiving you that way, then there might be an adjustment that needs to be made.
Yeah.
So, and from my perspective, he comes off as arrogant to me.
I've literally been waiting on him to say, like, dang, like, do I come off arrogant? Like, I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I'm going to point the finger at you, and you are struggling with this and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do think he comes across as arrogant. But the first three things that he said, I agree with. And some of the other things that he said along the way to the different women that have popped their balloons, I agree with too. So I don't necessarily think he's wrong. I think it's just the way he comes across. But if he's okay with coming across like that, then...
I think one of them said it like, you seem like you're a know-it-all. And to a certain extent, that's okay. But I think it's how you're going about doing it. Like, I'm not asking you for advice. If you want to give me unsolicited advice, that's fine. But it's how you're doing it. Like, oh, you need to do this, and you... Whoa, like, why can't we just have a conversation? Like, I think you would benefit from doing this because it seems like you struggle with this. You're telling people what they struggle with. Like, yeah. Whoa. When did you become my therapist?
And even if what he says is valid, if people are not being receptive of it,
that's
because of your delivery, is your goal being accomplished? Like, if your goal is to genuinely help these people change and to see themselves, and the way you're delivering the message to them is just causing them to close down and not think of it any further, then it's not really being helpful, even if what you're saying is good advice. So he might need to work on that if he's genuinely trying to help people.
Yeah.
Why you ended up popping?
My name is Unique. I'm 31. And I popped, not that I disagree with how he is. I love I love how he is.
Say it with your chest, girl. Say it with your chest.
He has confidence. It's nothing wrong with how he is. Mm. It's not what I want at the moment. Okay. Because I dealt with his kind before, in a way. Not exactly, because, everybody's different. But I dealt with his kind before, and there's nothing wrong with how he is. Okay. I feel like right now this is not the right platform for him as far as in what he's looking for, or maybe he's still trying to figure out what it is you want. I don't know. But
I know what I want.
Maybe you do know what you want.
I know what I want.
But obviously it's multiple things that he wants that he hasn't found and received in one woman. I heard.
I agree with you. I agree with
there's
you.
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with how you think, the confidence, all that. There's nothing wrong with it. You just have to find a woman that's willing to accept those things without her feeling like her light is getting dimmed, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
So I have to find a woman who is strong enough to know that her light can't be dimmed.
Yeah, that.
Hit me with your best shot. Tell me your name again.
Unique.
Unique. That is so special.
Thank you. As far as the masculinity, like I said, it's not a gender. I feel like it's just,
So being dominant and being, what was the word that she used? What was the word that you used? I forgot. masculine. That is something that is not gender specific, is what you're saying?
No, I don't feel it is. I feel like I'm very dominant and masculine when I need to be. But
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What do you want?
What do I want? Like out of a partner?
Why am I here?
I want my partner to be able to live in his confidence, exactly like how you are, but at the same time know exactly specifically what he wants. Instead of, because like I said, you can feel one way right now, but in a couple of months, you're not going to feel the same. Everybody changes, different levels. You know, if you get what I mean?
So by that line of reasoning, people are making lifelong decisions based off of 6 months, maybe a year. So is that fair to say, will you marry me based off of me knowing you for a year and a half, even though you're going to change?
Is it fair?
Right.
It's fair based on if that person agrees with,
Maybe not fair. Is it feasible?
I don't know the answer to that.
I do.
That's fine.
I do.
No, it's fine. It's all right. Let's go. Okay.
What do you feel? How do you feel about her saying masculinity and dominance is not gender specific?
I agree.
And
I don't think it's gender specific. I think women can be masculine and dominant. I think men can be masculine and dominant. I think we thrive in our femininity, and I think women thrive in their femininity and men thrive in their masculinity. But I think either gender can have either one of them operating stronger at any given time for whatever reason it may be.
Now that you put it like that, I can see that. In my mind, when she said that, I was like, because I've heard so many times that masculinity is more so for men and femininity is for women. So I've always equated that with gender. But she said, in some ways, like, women will need to be masculine. What ways would I need to be masculine? Like, I guess, like, if I don't have a man, yes. But if there's a man present, then I don't need to be masculine. I don't need to be dominant. He can handle all that. So I guess in my mind, I was thinking that it was gender specific, but having it broken down and explained like that, then I understand that.
And I've always thought, I see different videos of women saying that they're masculine in different circumstances, and sometimes men have a problem with that, but I've always thought that femininity is a supporting energy, and in a way, it doesn't necessarily exist on its own. It exists in the presence of masculinity, if that makes sense. So, like you were saying, like, if you're a single woman who lives alone and somebody breaks into your house, you're going to have to be that protective role because you're the only one there, and that's more of a masculine role. If there's a man there, then you can fall back into more of a feminine supporting role. So I don't know. I've always thought that it exists when there's masculinity around. So I think there are a lot of times where women are in a masculine frame, but it may not be the same masculinity that a man presents. So it may not look the same, because I think we can be masculine at times, but our masculinity is different from what a man's masculinity looks like.
Yeah. I've really never heard someone say like that masculinity and dominance is not gender specific. So I just thought that was really interesting because I've never heard that.
Okay, if we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
Hi, I'm Micah. I'm 33, and I ended up popping. One, I actually agree with a lot of the stuff that you say. So the 3 reasons that you gave before, I agree with all 3 of those. So I think you're on to that. I didn't really like how you showed up. I appreciate that you had emergency surgery. I love that.
You know, the scrubs are clean. I was wearing a white coat while I was doing it, so
No, I appreciate it.
they're
I appreciate it. But yeah, that's really the only reason, to be honest. And I think we just probably.
So if you would have seen me in the dental office, you would have been like, this guy.
I would have been like, yeah, nice smile, maybe.
But the scrubs was not doing it for me?
I just feel like they said date ready, and you've been here before, so you know what's up, and having emergency surgery is not an excuse.
You know, I failed you
No,
on this
you didn't
day.
fail me.
I failed you.
It's
And I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay.
Next time, I'll make my patience wait.
Okay, please, thank you.
All right, let's go back this way. Okay, so that is all the balloons popped. We weren't able to find you a match today, but let's go ahead and give it up for them, ladies. I'll take the mic.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We love y'all, and we will see y'all next time.
Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Bye.